game all the time. Like this, have that sort of effect back and forth?
Yeah, I tell you, you know the answer to that.
And when it comes to the offense with Rashid throughout the game planning process leading up to this game, can you just tell how things were just going to open up and how it felt today, how it opened up for everybody?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he did a great job. I was a little cautious with him on how many plays and all that, but I thought he came out and functioned at a high level for being gone for all this time. I mean, it's crazy that he can come back and do what he did. So, and do it at the level that he did it at. But we'll gradually build him. We'll build him up. We'll get his reps up here a little bit, and as we go, you gotta be careful with that when somebody's been off for a while. So, but listen, I thought all of them together did some really good things, and then at the end, Xavier had another round that he did very well with, and so there's a lot of things happening there that are positive.
How critical was it defensively to run down early and just how impressed were you?
Yeah, that running back's a good player. I mean, he's I was really impressed with him. For our guys to do what they did, I thought was tremendous. It always starts up front with the big guys, and they take care of their job on both sides of the ball, and normally good things happen.
Coach, you injured Omar, but Trey Smith did not come back in the second half.
As Omar is really the only one. He hurt his knee, and then we'll get an MRI and see how he is tomorrow, exactly what it is. Other than that, the guys did a nice job there as far as that goes. Great win. Appreciate our fans. They're unbelievable. How loud they are, how disruptive they are for an opposing team, and we appreciate that. There's all kinds of good stats to go over. I'm not sure I can cover them all, but for the media, you can do your homework and get them. But there's a lot of people that played really well, and I'm proud of them for that. We're coming off an emotional win against the Lions, and then coming into this thing and playing with the energy that we played with. I thought the coordinators had great plans. Like I said, all three phases contributed. So between Spags and Nags, they both did a great job with their game plans. The guys bought into them. And then Dave, obviously, Bucker's back now. He's got a couple field goals under his belt and killing that ball right now. So it's a good thing. And Reza had a nice day punting. So all in all, it was just a good day. And my heart goes out to Pete. Pete and I have been doing this a long time. So, you see him, and he gets that the team with the injuries, man, just that's crushing for him, especially when 98 goes out of the game. I mean, that's a tough thing for a guy to go through. And I know it's the Raiders, and I know we like to get after the Raiders, but you hate seeing that happen to his players there. He had a couple different injuries that took place there, so tough deal. But he's a good football coach. Time's yours.
Andy, what stood out about Rashid first game?
Yeah, I thought. Listen, it was great to have him back. I think you saw. Got my voice. I think you saw him. The trust that Pat has in him, and which is so important for, so important for the Pat and the guys. It was great. I thought the receiving crew did a nice job, but it was great to have him back in there, and the energy he brings, I just think, is tremendous. So, yeah.
That touchdown he has, his second touchdown, is that the way that's designed? Is that the first option on that play?
It was today.
I know you're only as good as your next game, but how meaningful is it to have both sides of the ball kind of percolating the way they did today? Maybe first time in a while they've looked at it.
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, anytime you can have a win like that, fourth quarter like that, where you can run the ball every snap, and at this level it's a good thing. I appreciate the energy the most. Just the guys, their whole frame of mind was solid. Now we got a good team coming in again this week, so we got to make sure that we're solid there as we go.
You feel each side sort of feeding off the other. I mean, I know you see it as a complementary game.
The Kansas City Chiefs are finally hitting their stride after a rocky start to the 2025 season, and Sunday's demolition of the Las Vegas Raiders proved they're still a force to be reckoned with. The Chiefs cruised to a 31-0 victory over the Raiders, improving their record and climbing above 500 for the first time this year, while Las Vegas dropped to 2-5 in what became a thoroughly one-sided affair. This wasn't just any win for Andy Reid, as it marked his first shutout as an NFL head coach in regulation and Kansas City's first shutout since way back in 2011. The dominant performance was led by Patrick Mahomes, who threw 3 touchdown passes, including 2 to Rashee Rice, making his much-anticipated season debut after serving a 6-game suspension. Rice wasted no time, making his presence felt as his 2 touchdown catches bookended a short scoring strike to Hollywood Brown that capped off the Chiefs' second possession of the game. Kansas City's offense was absolutely unstoppable in the first half, with each of their 3 opening drives ending in touchdowns courtesy of Mahomes' pinpoint accuracy. The star quarterback completed 26 of 35 passes for 286 yards before getting pulled before the fourth quarter even started because the game was so out of hand. The Chiefs kept their foot on the gas pedal, scoring touchdowns on their first 4 drives before adding a field goal on their 5th possession to put an exclamation point on their offensive clinic. If you're enjoying this breakdown of how the Chiefs are getting back to championship form, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Meanwhile, the Raiders looked completely lost on both sides of the ball, struggling mightily on offense without several key starters, including tight end Brock Bowers and wide receiver Jacoby Myers. Las Vegas could barely move the chains, managing just 3 measly first downs while going 0 for 7 on third down conversions and gaining only 95 yards on 29 total plays. Even more puzzling was how they seemingly abandoned their first-round pick, Ashton Jeanty, who carried the ball just 6 times for 21 yards, as if they forgot he was even on the roster. Rice's return to the lineup cannot be overstated, as he immediately opened up the entire offense for Kansas City, giving Mahomes multiple weapons to work with, including Brown, Xavier Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, and rookie Tyquan Thornton. Sunday actually marked the first game where Mahomes had both Rice and Brown available to throw to, and the results spoke volumes about what this offense can become when fully healthy. It's remarkable how Mahomes sometimes feels underrated despite being one of the most accomplished players in NFL history, simply because people have gotten so used to his greatness. The 2-time league MVP and 3-time Super Bowl champion reminded everyone of his elite status by surgically dissecting the Raiders' defense through the air while also making plays with his legs. Mahomes actually outrushed Jeanty on the day 28 yards to 21, which tells you everything you need to know about how lopsided this contest was. Through 7 games this season, Mahomes has thrown 14 touchdowns against just 2 interceptions while completing 66.2% of his passes, showing he's still operating at an elite level. The passing game wasn't the only thing working for Kansas City, as their rushing attack pounded out 152 yards and a touchdown on 41 carries, keeping the chains moving and the offense on schedule throughout the afternoon. The Raiders came into the game already dealing with significant injuries before losing. Pro Bowl pass rusher Max Crosby to back and knee injuries during the first half, which proved to be too much for Pete Carroll's squad to overcome. Las Vegas didn't do themselves any favors, either committing costly penalties on offense that killed several drives before they could gain any momentum. The defense failed to create any game-changing plays despite having opportunities, including when defensive tackle Jonah Laulu dropped what would have been a red zone interception of Mahomes, who immediately made them pay by throwing his 3rd touchdown pass of the half moments later. The Raiders coaching staff made some questionable decisions, particularly their refusal to establish the run.